Let's be real for a second. The word constitution can sound kind of boring, right? Like some dusty old legal textbook. But what if I told you it's actually the most important rule book a country has? It's the core agreement that sets up the entire relationship between a government and its people.
So think about it. What if you could just rip up the old rules for your country and start fresh, completely from scratch? Well, that's not a hypothetical question. It's exactly the journey Kenya went on, and it led to their groundbreaking 2010 Constitution. We're going to dive into how they did it, how they tossed out the old rulebook and built something entirely new.
You can almost think of a constitution like a country's operating system. It's the software that runs everything. And Kenya's old OS, well, it was buggy. It was outdated, it kept crashing, and all the processing power was stuck in one single central unit. So the people decided, you know what, it's time for a major upgrade.
But look, an upgrade like this doesn't just happen with the click of a button. No way. This was the result of a long, long struggle. We're talking decades of people demanding a government that actually worked for them, one that was truly theirs.
So let's walk through this journey, because it was full of ups and downs. Right from independence in 1963, power started getting sucked into the center, away from the people. Over the next few decades, a bunch of amendments just made it worse, creating a system where a handful of people at the very top held all the cards. A lot of communities felt completely left out. Now, there was a glimmer of hope with something called the Boma's draft. It really captured what people wanted, but it got defeated, which was a huge disappointment. But the people didn't give up. And finally, after the terrible post-election violence in 2008, it was clear things had to change. The moment was finally here.
And the result of all that struggle? The 2010 Constitution. And I want to be super clear here. This wasn't just tweaking the old system. It wasn't just another amendment. This was a total rewrite. A complete, radical rethink of the most fundamental question. Where does power actually belong?
And the answer to that question is found right at the beginning, in Article 1. There's this one single line that is just absolutely revolutionary. It takes the old way of thinking and flips it completely upside down. The idea is no longer that power trickles down from the government. Instead, it flows up from the people.
Okay, sovereignty of the people. That sounds a little academic, right? So what does it actually mean in the real world? It's simple, really. It means the government is only in charge because the people say it can be. Every ounce of political power comes from the citizens. They're the ones who grant that power. And, this is the crucial part, they're the ones who can take it away.
All right, so how do you actually make that a reality? How do you put that power into people's hands? Well, the Constitution does it with three huge pillars. First, there's a really progressive Bill of Rights. We're not just talking about political rights. We're talking about the right to healthcare, to a clean environment. Second, and this is a big one, is devolution. This basically shatters that old centralized power structure and pushes power and resources out to 47 brand new county governments. And third, it sets a whole new standard for leaders, demanding integrity from everyone in public office.
And this is a complete game changer for what leadership is supposed to look like. The Constitution basically says, nope, we're done with that old top-down, authoritarian style where the leader knows best. Instead, it demands a democratic approach, one where leaders are accountable to the people and have to act in their best interests.
This new standard is spelled out in what's known as Chapter 6 of the Constitution. You can think of it like a code of conduct for public officials. It's a tool that citizens can literally use to hold their leaders' feet to the fire. It makes it crystal clear that being a leader is a public trust. It's supposed to be about service, not about enriching yourself.
Okay, so if all this power now belongs to the people, what's the most direct, most tangible way they actually use it? Well, that brings us right to the ballot box. Under this new system, voting is totally transformed. It's not just about picking some president who's far away in the capital city. It becomes the main way people exercise their power, their sovereignty. It's how you hire, and just as importantly, how you fire your representatives, from the local level all the way to the top.
And just look at how much power we're talking about here. On Election Day, a single Kenyan voter casts 6 different ballots. Think about that. You're choosing everyone from your neighborhood representative right up to the president of the entire country. That's what devolution really looks like. Power isn't just in one place. It's being handed out at the national, county, and local levels all at the same time. Even the rules for becoming president got a total overhaul. It's not just about getting more than 50% of the vote anymore. Now, a candidate also has to get at least 25% of the vote in at least half of all the counties. Why? Well, this brilliant rule is designed to make sure the president has broad support across the whole country, not just from a couple of really populated areas. It forces them to build a truly national coalition.
So, when you step back and look at this whole incredible journey, what's the big takeaway? It's this. Kenya's 2010 Constitution isn't just some complicated document for lawyers and politicians to argue about. It's designed to be a tool in the hands of every single citizen.
This really gets to the heart of it. It marks a fundamental shift. Kenya moved from a system of being ruled to a system of governance by the people. It's a world of difference.
But, and this is so important, there's a catch. All these amazing promises in the Constitution, accountability, integrity, good governance, they don't just happen automatically. They depend on one thing: citizens. They only work if people are active, if they're informed, and if they're actually willing to use the tools this Constitution gives them to keep their leaders in check.
And that leaves us with one final big question. A constitution, no matter how beautifully it's written, is really just a piece of paper, isn't it? So what's the thing that actually makes it powerful? I think Kenya's story gives us the answer. It's the people. The people who are willing to pick it up, to understand it, to defend it, and most importantly, to demand that its promises are kept.